My name is Kevin. This story took place 7 years ago when I was 13. I had a sleepover at my friend Paul's house one night. This wasn't the first time we had a sleepover. What we would do is play video games until around 11 p.m. Then we would start trolling people on Facebook. And this night was no different. Paul and I spent the evening eating McDonald's, playing video games, and watching scary movies up until around 10:30 p.m. when we logged into Facebook using a fake account we created. It would send messages to people we knew. We came across one guy who lived in our area whose name was Frank. He was a black dude, buff, and had tattoos. For some reason, we thought it would be funny to prank call him, as his phone number was listed in his bio. We had to ring twice before he picked up. He picked up with a firm, "Yeah." Paul made a joke about Frank and his appearance, and we both were laughing. Frank then started cursing and yelling, and we hung up the phone laughing our heads off. The rest of the night, we made more prank calls and commented childish things on people's accounts. I think it was around 1 a.m. or something. Me and Paul were getting tired while watching a movie, and then we received a text from an unknown number. I asked who was that, and it said, "That's so funny," with a picture attached to it. After examining the picture properly, we saw it was a street sign that wasn't far from Paul's house. We both looked at each other, scared and confused. "What if they come to my house?" Paul asked. I tried to calm him down and think rationally. He wasn't at his house, only nearby. Maybe he is only guessing where we are to freak us out a bit. We carried on watching the movie, hoping the phone wouldn't go off again. About 10 minutes later, however, we received another text without a picture this time, and it read, "Look outside." Me and Paul froze in fear. I remember being so afraid to even move. The lights were off, so you couldn't see us from outside. So I got the courage to take a sneaky look through the blinds. I couldn't see anyone, not even a car. After scanning the street properly, I said, "Paul, there's no one out there." He checked as well. I told him it was probably just a text to scare us. He doesn't know where our house is exactly, like I said earlier. It didn't leave our minds, but we started to calm down a bit. Plus, we didn't receive a text message for a while now. And about an hour later, me and Paul went downstairs to make some noodles. As we were cooking, we get a phone call from an unknown number. Of course, it had to be that guy who had been texting us. I said, "Don't answer." The phone stopped ringing. Paul then texted the number saying, "I'm sorry if we upset you, but it was just a prank." The next thing that happened was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. A phone lit up just outside the kitchen window from the backyard, and a very large man was standing there looking at us. It was Frank. He looked so angry and held up a large knife and made a huge scratch into the window to where our necks were. We jumped out of our skin, screamed, and ran upstairs to Paul's parents. We told them there was a man outside. They came down and checked the backyard, and Frank was gone. We didn't tell the whole truth as we were afraid of getting in trouble. I don't think we slept the whole night. We still had sleepovers at Paul's house, but we never pranked or trolled anyone again. We also didn't hear anything from Frank, but we didn't need to. We got the message.